So, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Cluny Activities for our Sunday coverage. And we're back here this morning for round 3 of the Brainstrust Cup. The Brainstrust Cup featuring country competition between Scotland, England, and Wales. And we had an absolute cracker yesterday, so I'm sure we're in for some more excellent foot golf this morning and afternoon. We'll be with you throughout the day as we go through round 3 and we see who from the 3 countries will contest the final, which will take place just around about lunchtime and early afternoon. And current scores at the moment from the end of round 2 last night, we have Scotland, 95.5 points. So Scotland have quite a sizable lead at the moment. England in second place on 59.5 points and Wales in third on 43. A lot of points to play for today in round 3, and I will explain to you very shortly exactly how that works. It's quite complicated to explain, but it's actually very simple to follow. And the good news is today we have a live leaderboard as well. So that leaderboard is, I think, on our Facebook page already. So if you want to access that, you'll be able to get it on our Facebook page and just click that link and that will take you into the live leaderboard, and that's split into each of the 4 categories. So we're currently on hole 1 at the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with hole number 2. We didn't see that one yesterday, and it's one of my favourite holes on the course. So we're just waiting for the group that we've got there to hole out on 1. Chris McEwen, morning Gary, hope you're well. Good luck to all the boys today. Yes, I am sure they're right up for it. If anything from the chat last night is to go by. So I think all 3 teams will be re-energised and ready to go again today. All still to play for. Second place very much up for grabs between England and Wales. I think that could be hotly contested. It might actually go right to the wire, which will determine who we see in the final. Eleanor Stewart, good morning to you too. And yeah, we'll see you down here at the course very soon. Don't rush too much, Eleanor. I will catch David Stewart very, very soon. So yeah, we are on hole number 2. So hole number 2, just as we wait for the tee shot here from Morrissey. That is Mick Eardley. He's gone aggressive. Next up, we have JJ Greenshields. And finally in this group, we have Bledin Jones. And Bledin's underhit that one. So yeah, so what we've got here on the second hole is a very short par 3 and a very technical par 3. The players are teeing off there just to the right-hand side of that yellow pillar. The tee shot, there's quite a generous fairway to play your tee shot on. Everything runs heavily right to left as the players look at it, and everything feeds down towards that pin area. The pin is protected by rough on both the left and right approaches, so you underhit your tee shot, you are either in that deep stuff or you're slightly before it and playing through it and out onto a fairly rapid green. Anything to the right-hand side, you've got pretty much the same approach shot into the pin there. You're playing through the deep stuff and onto a fairly rapid green. Again, everything runs quite heavily downhill towards the pin as well. Couple of different cambers as you head in towards the pin as well. So very, very difficult to get the line there. So I've got Paul Morrissey taking his second. This looks like a good line. Very unlucky. The ball just missed there on the right-hand side. You can see how much that has travelled further down the green. But it looked pretty good there from Paul. So JJ Greenshells starts that ball out to the left. It does turn left to right. I think the pace was just a little bit heavy, which took a lot of the break out the ball, and the ball is just nestled in the rough on the left-hand side there. So McEardley, excellent tee shot, so he'll be playing his second. And Mick just rolls that one in. Excellent birdie there from Mick. So Glenn Jones, very similar putt to Mick in terms of distance, slightly different line. From where he is, it should be fairly straight towards the pin, and that is a very good putt there from Bledin. So Paul Morrissey, very good as well. JJ Greenshells had an excellent putt there as well. I think he had the hardest of the four there, playing up and over the slight mound there just before the pin. So I think what we've seen here on hole 2 already is anything that's this side of the pin, you're playing downhill onto a green that runs in multiple directions. So we saw all three players miss the pin on their approach and go long. Anything south of the pin, it's pretty much a fairly straightforward uphill putt. So if you can get your tee shot long enough and with the right weight on it, that it will actually feed into this channel as we see in front of the camera, which is fairly tight, particularly because you're coming in at almost 90 degrees to this channel. So if you can get your ball into that channel with a little bit of the speed gathering from the hill it's coming down, and get your ball down pin high or below, you're really setting yourself up for a great chance of birdie. Even if you're a little bit into the rough at the back there, your uphill putt for birdie is pretty good. Anything this side, you're in a little spot of bother. So we'll just come back up here. We've got the next group coming through to play on 2. And in this group, we have David McDonald, Lewis Davies, Jack Harris and Jay Bethel. So you can see there, players teeing off on the left as we look at it. They're playing across this fairway and they're trying to feed the ball into that channel, and that is a very good shot there. Ball's just going to catch it off on the right hand side, but he's on the green and he's got a fairly flat putt across there. Yeah, not bad, not bad. So we see Lewis Davies there. He's played that short. The ball is nestled in the heavy stuff there just before the green. So David McDonald, quite, as I say, difficult to judge the line on this shot. He's also gone a little bit short as we see the ball there. So that one has started out a lot higher. And this looks good. This looks really good. Has that got the pace? The ground does have a bit of moisture in it, so it seems to be slowing everything down quite a bit this morning. Normally you would see that ball head further down the green and go below the pin, so give a nice uphill putt there. Nice little shimmy there for the camera. So I'd like to see. So David McDonald, this line looks good. Very tough putt there. The ball looked like it was starting to turn in from right to left, and at the very last moment it just fed back off to the right hand side. So Lewis will have had the benefit here of seeing exactly where David's ball went. Let's start it a bit further to the left. And he's done exactly that. Excellent putt from there. So probably the best tee shot off the lot. It's gone left, back out the cup on the right-hand side, and he's delighted. Likes the cameras, this boy. So, two excellent putts there. Beautiful shot there from Jack across the green. Just strolled that one in, really. And David taps in for a par. So, 3 birdies and a par there. Hole number 2 is playing a little bit slower. As I said, there's quite a bit of moisture on the grass this morning. I think we've seen that throughout the course so far. So hole 18 also playing a little bit slower. The distance that players were getting yesterday just isn't quite there today. The ball's maybe about 20 or 30 yards further back. We obviously don't have any wind today at all. The conditions are remarkable actually compared to yesterday. We're playing in a little bit of hurricane season, I think, right at the start, and things did die off a little bit in the afternoon, but it was still pretty windy the entire day. Today we have absolutely no wind, which is unusual for Scotland. We've been quite lucky actually with the last few tournaments. They've landed on days where the weather's been very, very kind to us. So fingers crossed the conditions stay the same today. The course dries up a little bit and we will see some fantastic foot golf again today. Colin Ferguson, good morning to you too. Gemma Cullen, good luck. Jack Harris and all the Wales players. Well, just saw a very nice putt there from Jack, so looks like he is doing very, very well. Good morning, Daza. Missing you today, buddy. Hopefully see you very soon. Ken W. Willis, good luck to the Welsh team. I shall pass that on. Phil Priyankyov, come on, Team England. Come on, Team England. Come on, Wales. Come on, Scotland. Let's make this a great day for foot golf. So we do have, as we're waiting here, we've got most groups out and probably played around about 5 or 6 holes. So why don't we get an update on the leaderboard and just see who is currently leading. So Over 55, Colin Murray currently +2. He has a 11 shot lead over the next highest scorer at the moment. Hold on, that's not right. Yeah, it would of course help if I had the right link for this tournament. So over 45s, Paul Morrissey currently leading 4 under through 5. Donny McKenzie and David McDonald 2 under through 6. Don't think that will have changed with David's par on that hole there. Then we have James Bethel, Ray Walker, Gav Howe, Steve Grant, Paul Bolton, Colin Murray and Ian Oliver all on 1 under. Bledin Jones on evens and Nick Reynolds on 1 over through 6. In the ladies, we have another very closely fought battle here. We've got the 2 Scots leading the way, Laura Thompson on +1 and Carolyn Kent on +2, alongside Sarah White, who's also on +2. Lauren Davies +3, Merrick Greenshields +6, and Belinda Hutchins on +12. Juniors, we have, Sam McGoldrick, 4 under through 6. 4 shots cleared at the moment of Max Jackson, who's level, and Jack Oliver on 2 over. And then the men's, well, where do we start here? Scotland captain Joe McCourt leading the way, 6 under through 6. Andrew Duffy putting up a great fight there for the English, 5 under. Ryan Purcell next on -5, leading the fight for the Welsh. Chris Lewis, Neil Shave, Sam Lee and Stuart Campbell also on -5. And then we have Ali Dex, David Stewart and Jack Harris on 4 under. So live leaderboard, as I say, is on our Facebook page. We'll keep you updated throughout the day, but you can obviously access that and that will be updated as the players are going round. So talk a little bit about the format for today. So what we've got is everyone out on the course playing individual stroke play. So we've got that split into the 4 playing categories. So the men's, the ladies, the juniors and the overs. And the way that the scoring is working today, so the scores from yesterday still stand. So you can see those scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Scotland have got quite a bit of a lead there, and England 36 points behind, and Wales a further 16.5 points further back. Plenty of points to play for today. So the way the scoring is going to work today is maybe easiest to describe it for the juniors or the ladies. So effectively the best junior will take 5 points in that category. Second place will take 3 points and third place will take a point, and those scores will be added to the current standings on the leaderboards. For the ladies, we will take the best 1 score from for each country. So each country has 2 ladies out. So we'll take the best of each country's score and for all 3 countries, and the top lady will score 8 points for their country, second lady will score 5, and the third lady will score 3 points. Over 45s, what we will do is we will take so we've got 4 over 45s for each country out. We'll take the top 3 scores from each country, add those together. So I don't know if 3 of the players have scored -10, that will be -30. We'll do that for each of the 4 countries. So say -30 for Wales, -20 for England and -10 for Scotland as the combined scores for the overs. That would give Team Wales the win, England second place and Team Scotland third. So that would mean the points allocated, and these are all predetermined. The winning team in the over 45s would be allocated 12 points, which would go to Wales. The second place team would be allocated 8 points, which would go to England, and the third place team would be allocated 4 points, which would go to Scotland. And it's a similar principle for the men's as well. So we've got 15 men out at the moment, so we'll take the best 10 scores for each country. For the men, we will add them together, all 10 scores for each country, added together to give a country net score under par. And whoever's got the best score for the country, they will be awarded the top points in the men's category. So top points there are 20 for the first place country, 12 points for the second place country, and 8 points for the third place country. So that was quite a complicated way to describe the scoring, but effectively what we're doing is we're rewarding great individual stroke play today, but you're not isolated into an individual match. We're all playing as part of the one country and accumulating and adding those scores together to get a country net score under par, and that will then determine for each category the number of points that each country receives. So you can keep your eye on the leaderboard, and you'll probably need a calculator as well, I think, because you'll see a mixture of different players and nationalities up at the top of the board, and we'll be taking either the top 10 of the 15 in the men's, top 3 of 4 in the overs, top lady in out of 2 there, and obviously the one junior to determine the points in each category. So back on hole number 2, all 3 players have landed on the green, and we've got Matt Morgan with a downhill putt for birdie. So he starts the ball off to the left. Ball is kicked off to the right hand side and just lipped round that right edge of the cup. Such a difficult putt to read from there. So Andrew Stratford there just missed on the right hand side. Putt just needed a little bit more legs in it. So Paul Bolton with an excellent tee shot deserved a birdie there. Matt Morgan back up the hill, tapping for par. So par and 2-3. So what I think we'll do is we will just follow this group. Good morning, Matt. How are you this morning? In what respect? Excellent, good stuff. Matt Morgan just saying there, he is in fine fettle this morning. How's the course playing, guys? It looks like everything's running a little bit slower than yesterday. There's a bit of moisture on the course.
A lot slower, but there's no wind today, which is making a huge difference.
Yeah.
So as much as you're losing,
David Cameron, thank you very much. I currently have 2 phones, a calculator, and a brain that's not actually working very well. So hopefully the calculator can do all the work. So on to hole number 3, a very long par 5. Paul Bolton, first off the tee. Good strike there from Paul. Ball's just fed over to the left-hand side. So it'll be Matt to go next. The pin up here is tucked just behind a bunker up here. So Matt is absolutely boomed that. Paul and Matt, I think, have got a little competition, in-round competition, longest on tour. Matt winning on this hole. Andrew Stratford keeps it a little bit lower, a little bit more whip, so the ball also fed off to the left-hand side, which actually in this hole works to your advantage. So, as I say, a very long par 5. We got a fairly flat first part, so the trick is just really to get your ball as long as possible. You want to keep it on this sort of light rough here that we're walking across at the moment. Anything off to the right-hand side, there is a lot of danger there. So you can see heavy, heavy rough. And if you do absolutely shank your tee shot, you're down in the River Roar on the right-hand side. And safe to say you're going fishing. I just wonder how many balls over the years have been consumed by that river. So Andrew's next shot, he is playing up onto an elevated fairway, so everything runs quite heavily left to right, so it definitely suits the right foot here, so it allows you to counter the camber of the fairway. The ball, I think, will also stick with the moisture that we've got on the course today. The guys there, just as we were coming across the bridge, they were saying the course isn't just running a little bit slower than yesterday, it's running quite markedly slower. So we've got a lot of dew on the course at the moment. So Paul Bolton gets some air in it. That ball should be fine. It will feed off to the right-hand side and probably nestle in that light rough, just to the right-hand side of the fairway there. Should stick round about there. So Matt Morgan laced it. That is a quality shot there from Matt Morgan. So what you might not be able to see just yet is the pin, which is up here, is protected with a fairway bunker right in the line of the players there. So what Matt has done is he's laced it and he's just got a little bit of right slice on the ball, and the ball's just fed off to the right-hand side. It's stuck on the fairway and it's given him an absolutely incredible line in there to the pin. So he's taken that bunker completely out of the equation there. Third shot here from Andrew Stratford. He has gone left side of the bunker. I think he just have enough on that to have a line round the bunker and get a direct line into the pin. So Paul Bolton, decisions here. There's the opportunity on this hole to play through the bunker. It's a fairly shallow fairway bunker here. Or he can use his right foot and just bend that round the bunker, counter the camber. And he's going through the bunker here. I think that'll probably be okay if it gets out. Oh, very unlucky there. That just caught one of the higher lips on the backside of the bunker and ended up in there. Having said that, in the bunker there isn't too bad a place to be. It's a fairly shallow ridge to get out of, and with everything running a little bit slower today, can afford to probably give it a little bit more. So it will be Matt Morgan to go first. This will be his third for Eagle. So Matt, I think that ball ended up short, and I think that probably demonstrates just how slow the course is running today. Don't think Matt quite expected it to be as slow as it was there. So Andrew Stratford, he played a chip shot there over the bunker, and there was the option just to pass your ball round the side of the bunker here, and everything would have naturally fed left to right towards the pin. Paul Bolton out from the bunker, and that's excellent. Fantastic line from Paul there. So Andrew Stratford, par putt, excellent. Morgan, I think he knew when he hit that had just gone slightly left. So Matt very disappointed there to take a 5. And Paul knocks in there for a 5 as well, so pars all round. Yeah, I think Matt just saying there, 2 excellent shots, left himself with a chance of eagle, and yeah, the moisture in the course this morning just really played a part on the eagle putt there. Foot Golf Association of Scotland, come on, wee Matty. Who is logging into our account and commenting directly from there, I wonder. As we watch the next group. So here we have Gio Stewart, Sean Lindsay, Kyle Brown and Darren Baker. All playing their second at the moment. So Gio there has gone wide left as the players look at it, right as we look at it. It's got quite a challenging stance here because that hill is pretty steep. I think that's a sensible shot though, playing out to the left, right hand side as we look at it, left for the players on this hole, because it allows you then to basically avoid this bunker on your approach shot in. So you can see here what we'll do is we'll just head behind the pin. So we see the ball there from Darren Baker just feed off to the left hand side. So it will be Gio to play next. So as I say, you can see what Gio's got here. He's managed to get a line into the pin. He's obviously started the ball out to the right-hand side. Everything does turn right to left here. That line was excellent, actually. It just needed a good 20-30% more on it. But I think the player's very mindful that anything that does go long here has got the risk of feeding off down to the left-hand side, and you don't want to be down there at all. Good morning, Gio. How are you? Yeah, not too bad, thank you. So we can see Darren Baker here is in a little spot of bother. Played his shot off to the left-hand side as we look at it, and you can see the challenge that Darren's got here. So he's got a better lie now on this shot. His ball was buried deep into that heavy stuff there. Thankfully, the heavy stuff is there, because anything further, you can probably see the pipe. You are going swimming. And the amount of balls that have ended up in that river must be incredible. So Darren, I think he'll be disappointed to end up in there. What he really needs to do, get the head up and get the ball as far up and towards the pin as possible. It's easier said than done. Yeah, difficult to get any traction on the ball from down there. So birdie putt here. Just turning left to right as the players look at it. There is a heavy, heavy turn from up there. It's quite deceptive. And Kyle just taps that in for a par. So Sean Lindsay from the bunker. He's done well to get out. We saw that a little bit with Paul Bolton's ball as well. The ball just that dies basically with the moisture in the grass, not really travelling. So anyone that's in there, I think, can afford to really give it quite a bit more. So Darren Baker. Went quite aggressive there. I think we saw maybe just a little bit of aggression and frustration from being stuck down beside the pipe and in the heavy stuff on the left. So Gio Stewart, this looks good. Good weight. It's a line, it's just fed off to the right hand side. And he's in for par. So Sean Lindsay, that line also looked good. So we're just seeing the approach shots come up here from our next group. We have Irvin Small, Kane Kaupinen and Paul Lloyd. It will be Irvin to hit next. So Irvin's home course, of course. And he's kept the ball out to the right-hand side as we look at it. So this will be interesting. So this is the line that I was talking about earlier. As we just wait for Kane to hit his shot. He's down on the left in the heavy stuff, so he's done well to get the ball up and out from there. But yeah, coming back to the line that Irvine has here, it doesn't actually have a direct line into the pin, but you don't need one here. Everything turns right to left. You obviously need to give it quite a bit more today with the course running so slow. But everything does turn right to left, so you really want to start your ball off quite high. Irvine just didn't counter that camber enough there. You can see how much that ball turned. So Paul Lloyd with a lovely little chip shot there. Very nice. Give himself a fairly straightforward tap in there. Kane Kauppinen. Weight on that shot was excellent. The ball just fed off at the last moment to the left-hand side. He'll tap in for par. I think he'll take that. It was down in the rough stuff on the left-hand side after 3. Paul Lloyd just taps in there for a very nice par. And Irvine knocks in there. Birdie, Irvine? No, par. Par for Irvine as well. So quite a lot of support in here today for the teams. Raz, Van, on Choi. Good luck, Team Scotland. Not saw you for a while, Raz. Hope you're keeping well. Nelly Devil Juice, let's go Scotland. Dragos, come on England. And I believe we have a comment from Cedric Bono. Lovely to see you here, Cedric. Congratulations on your win at the UK Open earlier this month, I think. Looked fantastic from what I saw, and we hope to see you in Scotland very, very soon. So, on to hole 4. So hole number 4, a fairly medium length par 4. Tees have moved, so they're now on the left-hand side of the fairway. Social tees are normally over here on the right-hand side. So I guess what this does, moving the tees over to the left-hand side, you're already maybe up 2 or 3 meters higher, and you've got a larger area of the fairway to aim at. It's a little bit more forgiving, I think, being up here. You can get your ball up onto the left-hand side, give yourself a good shot into the pin. It's a bit of a dog leg, this one, so you can see Kane's played his ball out there to the left-hand side. The pin is quite heavily over to the right-hand side. So Irvine Small just laced that, and he's gone dead centre of the fairway. So what we'll do is we'll just follow this group up. As you can see from the tees, you're basically playing into quite a generous fairway. Anything sort of mid part of the fairway or over to the left-hand side, you're giving yourself a Very nice line into the pin. Pin is tucked over here on the right hand side, so just over there. You can probably see the players just gathered over there as they putt out on this hole. So where the players are at the moment, all got a fairly good line into the pin. We watch Darren Baker play his approach shot. So that looks very, very good. The line on that shot was excellent. You can see just as we're walking up here that the green area is protected on both the left and the right hand side with some quite tall and heavy rough. Makes it very difficult if you land in that to get your ball out and back onto the green. So it's a very tight approach area there, making it very difficult, particularly if you're playing into there a little bit blind. So Irvin Small, he has started the ball out to the right hand side and he's just caught the edge of that rough. Just gave it enough to get down, and he'll have a good look at birdie from there. So last to go here, Kane Kauppinen for England. So Kane has gone a bit more aggressive. Ball is just nestled in there on the right hand side of that rough, but that should give him a very good chance there of birdie. So 3 really good shots there. The challenge, and all 3 players have met it, is to get the ball through that tight channel there and keep your ball away from the rough and let the ball just feed down the green. And that is another excellent putt from Irvin. I think when the cameras are on and Irvin's got a long putt, he shows up. So Darren Baker, very similar putt here to Irvin. Pretty straight, and that ball just fed off to the right hand side there. Just missed there on the right edge. So Kane knocks in there from the edge of the rough, and that's another birdie. Tom McMahon, come on Scotland, yes indeed. Some great performances so far from what we saw, some great foot golf being played here this morning. Glad you are enjoying the commentary and filming that we've been doing so far today. We are here right throughout the day, all through round 3, which we expect to finish in around about an hour, and we'll be back for the final. So the final today, I would think, will probably tee off between about 12:30 and 1 o'clock. Just thinking about timings, we should get all groups in from round 3 this morning, roughly between about 11 and 11:30. That gives us about an hour for everyone to recharge their batteries, get a bit of food, and get the players ready for the final. So yeah, I think we're probably looking at 12:30, 1 o'clock for the final starting this afternoon. Final, of course, today will be match play. So 2 teams that get to the final, using the leaderboard that we've got at the moment, those scores will then be wiped and they'll be starting from scratch. So it will be a straight match play between two countries and a point per game. So we will have 18 points available in each throughout the match play. So that will be a mix of individual stroke play, and we will have a few foursomes out as well, pairs, foursomes, alternate shots. So the format of this competition, as it's been throughout, it's fantastic. It's got so many different varieties and complexities that it brings to the game. And it's really exciting as well to see players that might not normally get matched together, given the opportunity to show how they can work well together and get that different mix of distance and left and right foot. I always love to see that. So we're on hole 5, which is one of the feature holes here at Cluny. The hole isn't in play on the social course, and I think all of those that all of us that play foot golf would absolutely love to see this hole installed here on a permanent basis. I think the insurance policy for Cluny would probably go through the roof, because we're playing over water, and this river can be quite fast flowing as well. As we see the tee shot there from Kirkcaldy, and I like this one. Just whipped a little bit towards the end. So Irvin Small. Oh, wow. Just heard that ball clip the trees there, and it's given him probably one of the, well, a member's bounce there, Irvin, would you say? Ball was on a very similar line there to Ken's, so it was going to kick well left of the pin, and that little nudge and kiss off the trees there, that has just allowed the ball from Irvin there to kick right, and it left him with an excellent 6-foot putt for birdie. He'll be delighted. He'll tell you he meant that. I'll believe him. So Darren Sparks starts the ball out further to the right. This looks really, really good. This ball should feed back. And that is how you play this hole. Excellent tee shot there from Darren. Started out to the right, let the ball just whip back in and feed back off that hill and back down towards the foot golf pin. So Kane Kaupinen playing from the left-hand side. There is a little bit of turn there, left to right, and the ball just fed off to the right-hand side as it approached the pin. And Irvin knocks in for his birdie there. So Darren Sanderson, Yes, you're right. That is Paul Lloyd. Sorry, I have a tee sheet here and it doesn't look like it's got Paul in the right order. But you're absolutely right. That is Paul Lloyd. So apologies to anyone there for picking up the wrong individual. Caroline Dixon, Hennigan, good luck, Irvin Small in Scotland. I think Irvin has definitely used up some of his luck for today, I would say, with that tee shot. Those are the breaks that you get when you're playing well, though. Darren Cleary, what time does the final start, mate? I think, as I was just saying this earlier, it's around about 12:30 to 1 o'clock, I think, we'll be teeing off for the final. That will be a match play. 18 match plays we'll have out, a point available for the two countries that reach match play, and we will be live for that as well. So what we're going to do just now is we're going to head over to the other side of the course. Doesn't look like there's anyone coming behind us at the moment. One of the reasons that we're here today is, it's the Brainstrust Cup. It's the first ever Brainstrust Cup that we've done. So the winner will be holding the trophy up tonight for the first time. Brainstrust is a charity that all three associations have been worked very closely with over the last few years, and it's also a charity that's touched the hearts of quite a lot of us. Back in 2018, Foot Golf Association of England director and photographer Sarah Bolton was diagnosed with a brain tumour, and the Brainstrust charity were absolutely integral to her rehabilitation. I think Sarah received so much support from the charity, both before she underwent her operation and directly afterwards, and she's still working with the charity, raising incredible amounts of money for them. I think over £6,000 in total, Sarah and Paul, through their various fundraising activities, have raised for Brainstrust. So really giving back everything that Sarah's received, and I think for Sarah still receiving the support from the charity, even now when she's in that period of recovery. So you do have the chance to read Sarah's story. We have got that, and we'll pop it up again today on our Facebook page. It's also on the other Foot Golf Association pages as well. A very touching story and a very personal story from Sarah, and really emphasises the kind work that Brainstrust do. Today, the Brainstrust Cup, obviously there's a trophy at the end today, but what we're also doing is we are trying to raise as much money as we can as well for Brainstrust, just to recognise the incredible work that these guys do. And we've got a Just Giving page. We'll get the link up for that in between round 3 and round 4. It's also on our association page at the moment. So you can go onto that page and donate and give even more money for the great cause that is Brainstrust. So we're just over on hole number 6. In times, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're pleased to say we're joined here by Foot Golf Association of England Director and Photographer, Sarah Bolton. Hello Sarah, how are you today?
How are you? Yeah, I'm all right, thank you.
Good. And we were just talking a little bit about Brainstrust and the reasons we are running the competition today, and also the great work the charity do to help individuals that are going through tough times following a diagnosis and their families. Just wanted to hear a few words from yourself, because we know you've worked closely with the team at Brainstrust through your own diagnosis and recovery, and
Yeah.
how they've helped you.
Yeah, no, they've been brilliant with me. I mean, I found Brainstrust obviously after my diagnosis, and immediately received help. So I got my own specialist support member who supported me throughout leading up to my surgery and then after my surgery. So it was quite important to me that I raised money and awareness for them, because I didn't realise how many people went through it. I mean, it's these practically 30 people a day that are getting diagnosed with a brain tumour. So it's really important that we keep the charities going so that people can get the help. So I've received all sorts of help from them. I've had one-to-one support. They've put a lot of webinars on and Zoom support throughout COVID. They do brain boxes, which you can get, that has all the practical information in. So yeah, they've been fantastic with me. So it's very important to me that we can keep the charities running.
And very nice to hear that as well. And I know you've done a lot of fundraising work yourself for
Yeah.
Brainstrust and raised a lot of money for the guys. And as part of what we are doing today, we've set up a Just Giving page, and we've already raised quite a lot of donations towards Brainstrust, and we're obviously hoping that we'll get a lot more in as the day goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people have been so kind and so generous, and I'm very thankful that all the associations have chosen Brainstrust as the charity to raise money for. So yeah, it's lovely to see everybody playing and competing, having fun, but also raising money for them as well. So yeah, I'm really grateful. Thank you.
Very nice, and it's been lovely speaking to you, Sarah. We'll catch up with you as the day goes on, and we'll let you get back to taking the incredible photographs that you take.
You. Yeah. All right, I shall catch you later.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Bye.
So yeah, we heard there directly from Sarah Bolton, and as I say, a very touching and personal experience for Sarah that she touched on there. So if you get the chance, please visit our Facebook page, and as I say, we'll get the links up there over the course of lunchtime between round 3 and 4. And please, if you can, please donate to the great cause that is Brainstrust. So we are now back on hole number 13 and 14.
Way up, Dad. Come on. Fucking 10, 9, 8 done up, huh? Oh, yeah. We'll get him over in a minute. more time for me to stay here for a week now. You are staying.
So, hole 14, we're here with the group involving Ali Dick, Andrew Duffy, and Ryan Purcell. Just waiting for the green to clear, which I think has now happened, so the players will be able to tee off. So a fairly short par 3 we've got here. Players playing from the tee box there over the pond and the high area of the reeds that you can see there, and the pin is tucked over round about here. So shot favours the left footer. You can whip the ball from the tee and let the camber of the fairway take the ball down towards the pin. However, what you can also do is you can go very, very aggressive with the right foot, and I think we're about to see this from Ali Dick. And that's a good shot there from Ali. Ball has gone quite a bit left of the pin, but he's starting to feed back into the right, and he's left himself a good chance there for birdie. Andrew Duffy also going very aggressive with the right foot. That started off on a similar line to Ali's. It's a little bit harder, so it's ended up in the rough over there on the left. And Ryan Purcell, he has gone much more direct at the pin. Very nice shot, that. Sean Nolan, go on, Duffy lad.
That's it.
So you can see all three players here that have gone beyond the pin. You can actually see from the footmarks and the tracks across the grass just how wet the course is today. So Andrew Duffy started the ball out to the right, didn't turn really much at all. So Ali Dick for birdie. Line looks good here. Weight looks good. Is it going to go? Wow. That has stopped about 6 inches from the pin there. That's very unlucky there from Ali. Looked like he had judged that to perfection. So Ryan Purcell, birdie putt.
Oh, stay up. Stay up.
Excellent putt there. Very nice from Ryan. So what we'll do is we will just get a quick update on the leaderboard. So we wait for the next group to come down to hole 14. So juniors, very, very interesting. We have a tie at the top. Sam McGoldrick and Max Jackson both tied 1 under. Jack Oliver 4 shots back, 3 over. Ladies, We have Carolyn Kent has taken the lead on the evens. Laura Thompson, 1 over. Sarah White, 3 shots further back, and Lauren Davies, 4 further shot back from there. The over 45s, we have, wow, some incredible scores here. Paul Morrissey leading the way, 7 under par. Closely followed by Gav Howe, Paul Bolton, Colin Murray, all 5 under. 2 players there on their home course. All to play for. Donna McKenzie, a further shot back on 4 under. And then we have Ray Walker, Stephen Grant and Ian Oliver on 3 under. James Bethel, 1 under. Lennon Jones, evens. David McDonald, 1 over. And Nick Reynolds on 3 over. So all players look like they are through roughly 12 to 14 holes. So still plenty of foot golf action to play. As we wait for the tee shot here from Rory Cassidy going with left. You see the psychedelically coloured ball of Rory Cassidy, and that is a really good shot there from Rory. Giving himself a fairly straight downhill putt there. Lewis Williams. Sorry, that was Adam Harvey Davis there. So Lewis Williams now. Very similar line there to Adam. And finally, we have England captain himself, Sam Lee. Looks like he's gone with left. So he's got a nice little bit of whip on that. Line looks really good here. What's the distance like? Ball's just going to die there. So we've got all 4 players in with a reasonable chance here of a birdie. So, leaderboard. We've just seen one of the leaders, Ali Dick, currently tied for the lead on 10 under. He had that putt there to take an outright lead. That would have put him on 11 under. Currently tied with Neil Shave and Joe McCourt, all 3 on 10 under through 13. Andrew Duffy, Ryan Purcell and Rory Cassidy, and now Mick Erdley, all tied on 9 under. Stuart Campbell, Matt Morgan, Chris Lewis, Fraser Weir, all tied on 8 under par. Then we have Sam Lee, Jack Harris, Lewis Davies and David Geo Stewart on 7 under. So to watch Sam play his birdie putt, this would take him to 8. Now, I don't know if Sam started that off to the left, expecting that to come back into the right, but the ball just did not turn at all. So it will be Lewis Williams next. I can tell you that Lewis Williams is currently on 4 under par. This looks like it's just fed off to the left-hand side. So, Rory Cassidy, currently on 9 under. This would take him to 10. Line looks good here from Rory. Is it just going to hold enough? The ball just switched direction there right at the very end. Took quite a heavy right to left turn as we look at it, and it just lipped round that left edge of the hole. Very unfortunate there for Rory Casty. So he will stay on 9 under. Adam Harvey Davis currently on 6 under par. Don't think that's got legs. So Adam knocks in there for par.
Oh, the shorts have just gone.
We've got 2 left. Or 3 left, sorry. All the time.
So pars all round there.
Every time we go.
Always good.
And what we've just seen is a couple of scores coming through for Neil Shave. So he has gone hole 12 and hole 13. He's gone birdie eagle to take himself to 13 under in a 3-shot lead. Neil Shave setting the pace here at Cluny. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yes, not too bad.
Good to see you.
Got the camera ready.
Excellent.
Catch a few gigs.
Okay, I'll catch up with you later. So we're just making our way across here to hole number 16. Obviously, the event today and the original plan was to have the event in Ireland, over in Kirkcaldy for the Four Nations. We're delighted to have So, apologies, guys. We had a bit of technical issues with the battery on the phone. Technical issues meaning it died. But we're back and we are on hole number 15. So, hole 15,
Good shot.
a very short par 3.
Right, you getting on? Not too bad. 3 under. Chugging away. Sharp.
So, yeah, hole 15, par 3. What used to be a very long par 5 here at Cluny. The guys here setting up the tour, we have split the hole into quite a nice par 3 and then a very, very tricky and technical par 4. So par 3 tee shot, you've got a fairly narrow area of fairway to play through, so you can pass the ball through that. It then opens up and expands into quite a nice large fairway as you approach the green. There is a little bit of danger over to the right hand side. If you overhit your tee shot, you do have the risk that the ball can start to feed down the hill over to the right hand side there. So also a little bit of danger on the left as well. You can see the road there, that is out of bounds. So see the shot there from Adam Harvey-Davis. Just left that a little bit short. Of course, as we've seen this morning, is playing quite a bit slower. And it will be Lewis Williams next. So he started the ball off to the left, expecting that ball to break. And there's not a lot of break on that at all. So will Sam Lee go more direct? So Sam also starts the ball out to the left. You see there's just a lot more break on that ball there. So Rory Casti has gone aggressive. And he's gone quite a bit beyond the pin there. I think deep inhale of breath there from Rory Casti. That ball flirted with that downslope, and I think for a second he thought that might be travelling all the way down that hill. Rory, of course, one of our most effervescent players on tour, both in personality and ball colouring and skills. So Rory will knock his brightly coloured jab into the hole. Adam Harvey-Davis for a par. Very nice. Sam Lee also knocks in there for a par. Lewis Williams another 3. So 3 threes and a 4. Well done, guys.
Who's bag that? Mine. Is it me to, who's to go?
And next up, we have the group involving Neil Shave, Ray Walker, and Chris Blundell. So, Neil Shave just telling me his movement on the board there from 10 to 13 was courtesy of an albatross on the 13th. Long par 5. He must have banged that in from the other side of the ridge. Very difficult green to read that one. And he's played an excellent tee shot here. Line there was incredible. Left himself an 18-foot putt there for birdie.
After that? Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, do you just take it down there? You can just pass it down there if you want. Everyone has a go at the other, don't they? It's just natural.
Next up on the tee we have Ray Walker.
That could be nice, that stick. Go on. Shot. Yeah, great shot. Nice. Maybe my Sam to it.
And finally, oh dear, that ball has gone through the trees, out of bounds, and that will be back to the tee. We've not seen many shanked shots like that up here at Cluny. That's definitely one of them, and he really just needs to get that out of his system. Be back to the tee. I would suggest a side foot pass would be sensible on this occasion. Keep the ball in play. Of course, going with the left foot, it does bring that danger of the trees and the path on the right hand side into play. And I think we've seen here what he was intending to do on his first shot there. It's a very nice retake there. Bit of pressure there as well, having to go back to the tee and replay the shot, dealing with the frustration of hitting the shank. But he could escape here with a bogey, which I think he would take right now. So second shot here, starts out to the right hand side. This looks heavy. Just had so much on that, didn't allow the break to kick in early. I think the players are used to the course playing so slow so far this morning. I think this green actually looks like it's a little bit quicker around the pin. So second shot here, starts out to the right, line looks good here, and that's in. And that is a very good save, to be fair, there for a bogey. Chris Blundell, I can tell he's very frustrated there, but taking a bogey after that tee shot. Take that all day long, and Neil has pulled that off to the left hand side. So this hole proving very tricky for this group. So we've seen a par and 2 bogeys there. A little bit of support coming in there for you, Chris, from Richard Griffiths the 7th. He says you'll be fine. Apparently you're a beast of a man.
Cheers, Rich.
It's just passing his thanks back on to you there, Rich. So on to hole number 16. So as I say, this is the second of what used to be a long par 5 here at Cluny. It's now been split into the par 3 we've just seen, and this very technical par 4. And wow, what a shot there from Neil Shave. Put a lot of whip on that to try and bring the ball back against the gradient of the hill and the camber of the hill. Try and catch that bit of rough that we can see just sticking out there on the left hand side, but the ball has fed onto the fairway, and as most shots on this hole will do, they will feed heavily down to the right hand side. So Ray Walker, that ball is going to end up in exactly the same place as the ball of Neil Shave. And finally, Barney Bundell going with the left. I'm a left footer myself, and this hole fills me with fear. So Chris has just played the sensible shot there, passed the ball down, caught the edge of the rough on the left hand side, and left the ball down to the right hand side. So from there, it's actually not that bad a place to be. You're putting uphill, fairly long putt, and you can actually afford now to be a bit aggressive with your putt down there. You can see the strip of rough that the guys with the right foot were playing for here, to try and catch the ball. If you do manage to get your ball to stick here, it's a very tough approach putt into the green. You're playing against a heavy camber left to right. The benefit from what the guys at Cluny have done here over the last 12 months is they've installed this patch of rough here. So what this does is allow the players, when they're playing their uphill putt from there, to be quite aggressive, play the ball, give themselves a good chance and a good attack at the pin here. Anything that falls a little bit short or starts to run back will just catch this little bit of rough and nestle quite nicely. So we've seen there Chris Blundell, he has gone for the pin, he left it a little bit short. And the ball is just nestled in the rough on the left hand side. So Neil Shave, he's gone a little bit more aggressive. little bit too aggressive there. So Neil really went for that. He caught the rough at the back and it spat it back out. And he's left with a very tough downhill putt there. So Ray Walker starts the ball out to the right hand side. It does turn right to left. It just didn't have the legs in it there either. So that ball will catch the rough at the back. So it'll be Ray Walker. This is still for birdie. And he's sunk it. Very nice putt there from Ray. So Chris Blundell, Andy redeems himself from hole 15. Very nice, the beast of a man. Neil Shaver, what an outstanding putt there. Very difficult to read the weight and the line from that position on the, well, just off the green there. But that is why he is world class. So I think that will take Neil to 14 under as we'll just stay here on hole 16. Got next group up. We will catch up again with Mick Eardley, Paul Morrissey, Ledin Jones and JJ Greenshields. We're just putting out on 15 at the moment, so what we'll do is we'll just get a quick update on the leaderboard. Richard Griffith, the 7th. That was a fine shot there from young Barney. So, current state of play. Let's start with the juniors. So, Sam McGoldrick now has a little bit of a lead. He's 1 under through 16. Max Jackson has taken a treble bogey on the par 5 third, so he's now 5 shots back along with Jack Oliver. On to the ladies. And we have Carolyn Kent with a 2-shot lead, currently sitting 2 under par. Laura Thompson level par, and Sarah White a couple of shots back on 2 over. Over 45s, we have, wow, Colin Murray. Sensational form in the last few holes. He's now moved to 8 under par with a 1-shot lead over Paul Morrissey. We're about to see here. Paul is currently on 7 under. Gavin Howe a shot further back on 6 under, and then we have Donny McKenzie and Paul Bolton on 5 under apiece. And then the men's, so Neil Shave, as I said earlier, an albatross on 13. He's then taking a birdie here on 16, so he's currently leading 14 under par. Joe McCourt and Mick Eardley, they are also storming up the leaderboard, 13 under par. Fraser Weir, 12 under par, and completing an all-Scottish top 5. Stuart Campbell, 11 under par, currently tied with Lewis Davies, Ryan Purcell, also 11 under par, and a shot back we have Jack Harris, Ali Dick and Andrew Duffy, all 10 under par. So looks very much like we've got 1 or 2 holes left to play. So we'll catch this group, as I say. We've got Paul Morrissey here. Paul just a shot off the lead in the over 45, and I actually think that might be Paul finished. Just going to check the scores here. Yeah, and I believe Paul is finished, so it does look like a lot of our groups are actually now in. So what we'll do is we'll make our way back up to holes 1 and 2. It does look like they've got some play still out on the course here. This looks like it is one of the groups involving Donny Mackenzie, I think. So we're back here on hole number 2. We've got the group involving Donny Mackenzie and Sam McGoldrick for Scotland, Chris Lewis for England, and Wayne Greenshields for Wales. So I think they've still got one left to play.
2, 3.
We saw Sam take a 4 there, I think. So that will narrow the gap in the juniors. So what we'll do is we'll just follow these guys over the bridge, and they've still got hole number 3 left to play, a long par 5. So it will be Donny Mackenzie to tee first. Donny with the left foot. It's on that ball just a little bit out to the right hand side there. Donny currently sitting in 5th place in the over 45s and 6 under. Next up we have Wayne Greenshields. He's just passed the ball down into the middle of the fairway there. Chris Lewis has really gone for that. It's a very nice shot, left himself to the left side of the fairway. Next up we have Sam. Sam very sensibly down the middle of the fairway there. bit of love for young Sam out here on the course. No, Nora Byers, come on, Sam.
Taylor, I got a hole in one.
Did he?
I did.
Donny would like to inform you, Nora, that he has achieved a hole in one today. So he wants a bit of love as well. Second shot here from Sam. So Sam has played it out to the left. I think that for me is a sensible play. Keep it left, and then you can play your third shot to the left hand side of the bunker and give yourself a good line into the pin. You can just see that ball is feeding back a little bit here. It will stop there. So Donny McKenzie with the left foot. Looked like it might actually run into that rough on the right hand side there, but again the heaviness of the grass this morning is just holding things up a little bit more. So Wayne Green Shields plays the ball up and onto the higher part of the fairway there. His third. Sam McGoldrick keeps the ball left. I like to see this. Taking the bunker out of play on the next shot. So we've got Donny McKenzie in what I can only describe as a group that feels like a roller coaster. It's non-stop. So we've got Chris Lewis here for Team England. So just looking at the leaderboard, Chris is currently tied 7th on 11 under. So chance here for a birdie, which would take him to 12. This shot is, of course, for his eagle, and you do have the opportunity here. You can play right through that bunker. That's exactly what Chris has done. That ball, oh, that has taken a horrible kick off that bunker. That is very unlucky. That's the lottery you're taking if you're going through the bunker. It just caught the higher edge of the bunker there, and it sort of kicked the ball back at 90 degrees. Still left Chris there with a good chance for a birdie. I think we'll see him go for this, I think. So Sam McGoldrick, that was that line I was talking about earlier. Going up high here on the left hand side gives you a direct line into the pin. It takes the bunker out of play. It's a really good effort there from Sam. Just didn't quite hold the line for long enough. So watch the birdie putt from Chris Lewis. So this goes in, he's on 12 under. He's just missing the left side, so he'll stay at 11, which will keep him tied 7th. Donny McKenzie from the bunker. That looks really, really good. Very nice shot there. So Wayne Greenshields down the hill, ball will turn left to right, just caught the left edge and slungshot round there. So this is a tough hole, the third along, as I say, long par 5, and the green normally is quite rapid. So even with the moisture that we've got in the course today, the area around the pin is running incredibly quick, particularly if you are putting from this side, as we saw there with Wayne. Difficult to get the pace on the ball correct. Anything slightly heavy is just going to feed off quite heavily beyond the pin. So Sam McGoldrick knocks in there for a par, Sam. Yep, Sam finishes on par, and just going to have a quick look at the junior leaderboard. That should be enough to secure Sam the points in the junior category. Max Jackson does have a couple of holes left to come in. He's 4 shots back at the moment. As we see Donny McKenzie take a 5. So Donny has parred that hole, so that will keep Donny on 6 under, currently 5th on the leaderboard at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make our way back up to the first. I think most groups are in now. So the way the scores are looking at the moment, so prior to round 3 kicking off this morning, scores were Scotland 95.5, England 59.5, and Wales 43. So Scotland had a 36-point lead over England, and done a calculation before the round started, and I don't think there was a way that Scotland could actually be overtaken in first place. So the first place for Scotland prior to today's round was effectively secure. So the battle really is for that second spot in the final between Wales and England. And at the start of play this morning, there was a 16.5-point gap. So looking at the way the scoring was working for today, that would have effectively meant that Wales would have needed to finish in first in at least one of the categories and beat England in the other 3 categories, whether that be a second against a third or another first against a second, in order to take the second spot from England today. Looking at the leaderboard now that we have most groups in, it looks like, so from the juniors, Sam McGoldrick looks like he's taken the juniors by 4 shots. Sam, Evans, Max and Jack finishing on 4 over, or well, currently on 4 over with a couple to play. Ladies, Carolyn Kent and Laura Thompson, top 2, 3 under and 1 over, followed by Sarah White and Lauren Davies, then Merrick Greenshields and Belinda Hutchings. Over 45s, Gavin Howe and Colin Murray took the win there, 8 under apiece, with Paul Bolton and Paul Morrissey in the second spot there on 7 under. Donny McKenzie a shot further back on 6. And in the overall category, with just, I think, Fraser Weir to come in, who's currently on 12 under, with a couple of holes to play. We have Neil Shave on 14 under with the top score of the day. That's incredible, 14 under on this course this morning. Just a shot behind, we have Joe McCourt and Mick Eardley, 13 under. Stuart Campbell, Matt Morgan and Fraser Weir currently still to finish. Stuart and Matt are both in, all three players on 12 under. So, top 6 places to Team Scotland. Looking further back, we've got Ali Dick, Andrew Duffy, Ryan Purcell and Chris Lewis. Fantastic scores from those guys, 11 under par today. And also in double figures, David Quigley, Jack Harris, Lewis Davies and Rory Cassidy, all finishing on 10 under par. So some outstanding scores that have been posted today. So it looks very much like Team Scotland have reinforced that advantage that they had at the top of the leaderboard. And I think looking at those scores, it will be very difficult for Team England to be overtaken in second spot. As I say, I think Team Wales needed to win a category and beat England in all the other 3 categories to have a chance of taking second spot. So we'll get the scores confirmed. We're just going to go over to the scoring area just now and get that officially confirmed before we finish the feed. But it is looking very likely it will be a Scotland versus England final this afternoon. What a match that is going to be. So just before we head over, we'll just mention again our national team sponsors for 2021, KRS Landscaping, a couple of the boys in our squad today, Kieran and Taminus, both integral to the work that those guys do. Absolutely incredible garden transformations these guys do. You can get them on Facebook or across our social media, KRS Landscaping. There's also a couple of links to the page via the association media. So please check out what those guys do, and if you're needing anything done, highly recommend them.
There weren't as much wind today.
How are you? Thank you for my box. Good man.
Right.
We're good.
Yeah, and you got Lewis Davies.
We're still live.
We're still live,
Right.
yes.
Hello,
Yeah,
Mum.
yeah.
She ain't watching.
But yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah, good.
Thursday night, so of course it's playing well, yeah.
Wet this morning. Really wet.
A bit different,
Really, really wet. So,
Carol,
Yes.
grab you for a wee interview.
That was fabulous. This is no normal for me. I'm on the other side of the camera.
So we're joined here with ladies winner of round 3, Carolyn Kent. I believe you shot -3 this morning.
Yep.
How'd your ring go?
So it was difficult this morning because yesterday was very much wind assisted, and today, with it being quite wet, the ball held. So the course is, I wouldn't say it's massively long, but for the women certainly made a difference. So I found this morning trying to get the distance was difficult, and obviously being slightly older, it takes me about 6 holes to get warmed up. But the last 2 holes, I sunk a worldie out the bunker, like literally popped it in. So that put me on to -3, and I got a birdie here on 18. So it was my last 2 holes really, otherwise I'd been -1. But yeah, good course, and what was really pleased to hear is the other women really liked it.
Yeah, and you've really enjoyed your 3 rounds, I think it's safe to say here. Your score yesterday was phenomenal.
round of my life yesterday. Absolute round of my life yesterday. But I think everybody's enjoyed it. I think we wanted to make sure, certainly from an association perspective, that everybody got that kind of big tournament experience. And we tried to do that, especially with Scotland players, with regards to bringing in some media, making sure that they got the right kit. So there's lots of things that we're trying to do and just trying to grow the game up here. So yeah, so far I'm happy it's been successful, and I hope the rest of the guys that put an awful lot of work in are too.
I'm sure they are, and it looks very much like it will be a Scotland versus England final.
Oh, is it?
How are you feeling about that?
Do you know, it'll be interesting, because I think one of the big things about the fourth round is, number one's fitness. So who's got the fitness in their legs? Because not a lot of people have played consecutive days, 2 rounds. So it'll be interesting to see who's fit enough to go for both rounds. But match play is always can be such a lottery, and it's again a case of when you choose to go aggressive and when you choose not to go aggressive. But yeah, it'll certainly be interesting, and some of the matchups will be great. So I'm looking forward to seeing who the captains pick.
As are we, Carolyn, and we will be live for all the match plays this afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you very shortly.
Thanks, mate. Entertaining. Bet, Laura. Hey, Laura, bet you.
So we're just waiting on the final scores from Mr. Ron Tree. He's got the calculator out.
It's alright, mate.
It's okay. Out here, right? She sunk it. Over the bunker. I'm in the bunker.
Still waiting on Fraser. Still playing his 18. Just come out a bit, press the man, just come out a bit and go back in. Yeah. No, still.
Okay, so we are still waiting on all the scores coming in. I think there's one group still out on the course at the moment, and as I was explaining earlier, it's not just a simple case of taking the top scores on the leaderboard and awarding the points. So there's a bit of mathematics and calculations that need to go on underway to determine the cumulative best scores, particularly in the men's and overs categories. So that might take a little bit of time. As I was saying earlier, what we have managed to do, so obviously the Four Nations tournament was meant to take place over this weekend in Kilkenny in Ireland. Unfortunately, due to the restrictions that have been in place, we've not been able to do that this weekend. So it's been fantastic to be able to have a competition, and a competition like we've had today take place over this weekend, involving the Scots, English and the Welsh, and I think that's just really whetted our appetite for when the Four Nations will eventually take place, and we're delighted to say that we have got a confirmed set of dates for that. So it will be the weekend of the 22nd and 23rd of March in 2022. And the venue will remain at Kilkenny in Ireland. So looking forward to getting on the plane and getting across to Ireland and seeing what the courses are like over there. So here's a little promotion video to whet your appetite a bit more. So I think you'll agree. I mean, the promotion video in itself is absolutely class. The course looks fantastic over there, and I think we're all chomping at the bit to get to March next year and get on that course. the atmosphere across the 2 days that we've had so far has been incredible. The camaraderie and the banter between the teams has been brilliant right from the very outset. When we were announcing the squads, and we had the national anthems before we teed off yesterday. So it's been a brilliant couple of days so far. We've got still a lot of foot golf left to come this afternoon. Match play in what is looking very likely to be a Scotland-England final. Obviously, as I say, we're still waiting on the scores coming in there. I can see Mr. Rowntree has calculator out at the moment, so we're in the process of getting the scores together. But looking at some of the scores on the leaderboard today, 15 under from Yeah, sorry, 14 under from Neil Shave, taking the top score for today. "11, 12, 13, 14 players in double figures." I think that speaks volumes, not just for the quality of the player today, but also how well the course has been maintained. There's very little areas of the course where you can't play a clean or a true shot. So thank you to all the guys here at Cluny Activities up here. They do a fantastic job. Anyone that's not been to Cluny before, there's a range of activities that you can play here. We've got clay target shooting, we've got a golf range, we've got a 9-hole golf course, an 18-hole foot golf course. There's also a 9-hole practice foot golf course. It's bloody tricky, full of a lot of the high rough, and you're playing around right angle corners quite a lot of fun actually to play that. And if you're coming up here with the kids that are not interested in any of those sports, there's a wee kids play area as well, so you can have a proper family day out. So we are just going to go back over and see if we've got any scores.
Chris, have you got a picture of the point for today?
I don't think we're far away. I think we have a final set of points, so the guys are just checking and verifying those at the moment.
Scotland, England, Wales and Wales. So Scotland get 20 points. 20. We'll get 12. Wales get 8. Then the seniors, Scotland will get 12. We will get 8. Pretty good, aren't they? Wales get 3.
Yeah, so just listening to the guys' analysis of the scores. So what I can tell you right now is we have, for the men's, Scotland took the first place on the combined best 10 out of the 15 scores for each country. Scotland had the best overall score, so took the 20 points. England took second place in the 12 points. Got them. So England have the 12 points, and Wales took third place in the men's category and have 8. In the overs category, very similar picture. Scotland, the best 3 scores from each country were added up and totalled, and Scotland had the best cumulative score there. So took the 12 points. England had second best with 8 points, and Wales third with 4 points. Ladies, again, exactly the same picture. Scotland took the 8 points and the best ladies score there, and England took second place with 5 points and Wales third place with 3. Juniors, Scotland took first at 5 points. Wales took the second spot here for 3 points, and England third with 1 point. So I think what that does for the overall leaderboard is just confirm that the final standings are Scotland, England, and Wales in that order. We've got a final set of points, Mr. Rowntree.
Just got in there, that's what I was saying.
Oh no!
I thought you'd got. I've just set them in there to go on the board.
Yeah, that's.
But I can tell you, 104.5.
Yep. So final scores after round 3. So we've got Scotland on 140.5 points, England on 85.5, and Wales on 61. So the final this afternoon will be contested between Scotland and England. The format for this afternoon is match play. So we have 18 separate flights. We have a mix of stroke play and some pairs foursomes. So a point available per match play. And the first country to get 9.5 points will be the winner. We will be back live for the match play in roughly about an hour. I hope you have enjoyed the coverage so far this morning, and we hope to see you again this afternoon. See you all very, very shortly.